Hey guys, how's it going? Just sweeping the floors in the back of this grocery store here and thought I'd make a video for you real quick. You guys know that I started this contract with a company that owns 8 different restaurants, and this has caused me to need to hire some people to help me get this job done. And I've talked in the past about how I didn't really want to hire anybody. I kind of wanted to do the work all on my own. And so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk about this whole experience of hiring people. Now, one thing I have to take into consideration is I'm not giving anybody really full-time hours. Usually it's about 30 hours a week. And in the janitorial business, the hours can be kind of inconsistent, or they could be at weird hours. You know, people might have to work at 2, 3 in the morning. Maybe they only work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, it depends on the needs of the customer and how often we need to get that building clean. But it's very difficult to have a set schedule where it's just like Monday through Friday, this time to this time, 40 hours a week. So the schedule's very inconsistent. The next thing is I can't really offer any benefits or anything. I'm just not at that point in my business. So I don't really offer health insurance or 401k or any real benefits like that. And so the third thing is the pay kind of sucks, you know. Janitorial workers, they don't make a very big wage. So with the combination of all these different things, it's very difficult to recruit good workers. It's hard to get people who are invested in the company and who want to come to work every day and work really hard. They kind of treat your company like a fly-by-night company. And it's weird because I want to offer all these benefits, I want to pay more, I want to get consistent hours, but at the same time, I can't really build to that level if I don't have a team. And I can't build a team if I don't have any of those perks for my company. So it makes it kind of challenging to hire people. So I wanted to talk about how I hire people and how I build my team from the ground up. Now, in the past, I had just went out and I hired a huge team. And I had up to 15 people working for me at one time. I had a whole sales team and then a whole service team. And it didn't really work out very well. And I kind of went into that in one of my past videos, but anyway, I learned my lesson there and I came up with a new method. Now, in corporate America, what they typically do is you'll hire an employee with certain attributes that you like, and then you give them a chance to do their job. You put them through training or whatever, then you send them out into the field and they're supposed to be doing their job. Now, if they slip up, you can give them a verbal warning and tell them to correct their behavior. If they slip up again, then you give them a written warning. And if they slip up a third time, you fire them and you find someone new. And then you just keep doing this process over and over and over until eventually you find people that work out for you, or you just keep cycling out all the bad people. The problem is, with my company being so small and not offering any of these benefits, the pool of people that I'm hiring is usually not the best. Like, a lot of these people, they have big home problems. Some of them don't have driver's licenses. Some of them have had legal problems and huge fines and fees that makes it hard for them to get on their feet. Some of them don't have high school education, so it makes it hard to find a better job, and that causes, you know, that lack of education really causes a lot of problems in their personal life. So even if I cycle through people, I'm just going to be finding the same type of person. And that's what I ran into when I had that team of 15 people. So what I like to do now is, and this is just my personal opinion, and this is just what I'm doing right now, but I really feel like I've done this several times, and this really is working for me, and so I'm going to keep at it. What I like to do is I find somebody who's willing to work the hours that I can give them, and find somebody who doesn't mind working inconsistent hours, making minimum wage, working late at night, somebody who doesn't really need insurance, and somebody that doesn't need like paid time off and sick time and all those different things. And somebody that I trust and that I like to work with. Then what I like to do is I like to work with them side by side. And I've already hired 2 people, and this is exactly what I'm doing. There's one girl that's working with my wife, and then one guy that's working with me. And they're also a husband and wife. And so they've got 2 kids, and the husband can go out with me on certain days, and then the wife can go out with my wife on certain days, and they kind of just switch back and forth, so it works really well with their schedules so that someone's always at home with the kids. Now, what we do is we're working side by side, and the entire time I'm working with them, I'm training them, I'm looking over their work, I'm inspecting their work, and I'm instilling my values and my level of integrity into them. And we're building trust that goes both ways. Because when you work for a small fly-by-night company, you might not trust the owner. You might think that they're going to screw you over. You might think that you're not going to get your paycheck or whatever. And so if I can work with this person one-on-one, they can see who I am. They can see what my values are and what I find important. And I could talk to them about this type of thing, and then that builds trust in me. Like, then they trust me more. Not only that, I trust them more because I've worked with them so much, and like, I actually know this person. They're my friend. And I know that they're going to show up and they're not going to flake out because we have a relationship. And people don't really want to flake out on people they're friends with, and they don't want to inconvenience people that they like. So I find that they're a lot more reliable. And then the whole time I could be talking about, doing a good job, how important it is to show up on time, and just general things on like how to improve their life. People really open up to you when you're a coworker, and they start telling you about their problems at home, and instability and finance problems and problems with their kids and all these types of things. And so I really like to talk to people about that and instill values and talk about things like having integrity or being selfless, like giving yourself unselfishly to your work, but also to your family and friends. I'll talk about how to manage money, how to set up different envelopes so that you can budget your money properly, so that you're not always floundering in your finances. And just all these little like success tips that I've learned through reading and through experience and through knowing people. I give that to people who they might not be literate, they might not know how to read, or might not enjoy reading, and might have a hard time with it. And so I can kind of pass that information to them through our conversation and build them up to be a more successful person who's more reliable and who can start paying down on their fines and start buying themselves a car. And really, like, I'm making a good employee for my business, but then I'm also helping them really get their lives in order. So I just find out that really helps a lot. Like, I'm developing a team. I'm not finding good employees, I'm developing good employees. And I think that's really important. Like, I knew a guy who owned a heating and air conditioning company, and he would always complain, I can never find good people. I pay them so much money. They should just be good people. I'm like, well, you can't find good people. It's very difficult to find people with all of your requirements, but you can create the people that you need if you invest in them and you give them more than you're asking for. And it's been working out really good. With this couple that we have, there have been some bumps in the road, but again, I'm not writing them up. This isn't corporate America. A couple of times there have been some issues with them not showing up for work, just no call, no show. Instead of yelling at them and putting them down, I'm trying to be empathetic and realize that their lives are just chaotic and they're barely hanging on, and try and be patient with them. And I can go out and do the work on my own, or I can have my wife come along with me. We can still get the job done, and I can just understand their situation and then talk to them about it the next day. Not in a rude way, not in a mean way, not in a condescending way, but just finding out, hey, what's going on? Like, is this a job that you want? And if it is, you really need to show up because you're screwing us over and you're screwing the customers over. We can't grow. And I let them know that I'm willing to invest in them, and if we can grow the company, then they could grow with the company also. They can get promotions and raises, and the future will look a lot better if they stick around. So I just try and go really easy on them, because a lot of times I find out these people that are taking these very low-level jobs, they don't have a whole lot of confidence. Like, that's why they're unemployed before they come to me. Like, they haven't been in the work field very long. Like, they just got their asses kicked at every job that they had, and they kind of fall out the bottom of society that way. And so my goal is to really build up their self-respect, their self-worth, and get them showing up on time and getting them to work hard and to pay attention and to focus on work and, those types of things. So, and I don't have to do this all the time. I don't have to hand train every single employee, but once I build a team just like this, then I'm going to trust those people at some point to like put people underneath them, and then they can train them in the same way that I trained the original people. And that's how I'm going to build my team. So I have another husband and wife that I've been looking at. They've been trying to start their own business, and I know how financially turbulent that is. And so I think I'm going to ask them if they want a job also. And these people, you know, they're really driven and hardworking and great people. And they might not need a little janitorial job, but they might appreciate, you know, an extra $1,000 a month or whatever while they're trying to get their business off the ground. And I think that I can get them to buy in on my business if I really invest in them and help them out. So that's just how I think that's the best way to build a team when you're first starting out. Instead of just hiring a shitload of people and hoping that they trust you and respect you, I think that you should just start out small, work side by side with people. And another thing is, if you've never hired employees, if you've never been in management before, if you've never been a leader before, it's very difficult for you just to hire a big group of people and then play the leadership role, because there's so many little nuances that you don't know. Like, people are going to come up to you and they're going to ask you questions and they're going to make requests of you, and you're not going to know the right answer to give them. And so you're going to give up control of your company to people that are just asking you for things. People are going to ask for time off when they shouldn't have it. They're going to ask you for raises when it's inappropriate. They're going to ask you to hire friends that you shouldn't hire. They're just going to they'll tell you like little tips and tricks on how you should be cleaning your own accounts. There's going to be so much chaos coming into the situation when you bring new people into your organization. And if you've never been in a leadership position before, you're not going to know how to lead. And all of a sudden, your team's going to be leading you, and shit's going to go wrong real quick. So I think the best way to do anything is just to start small and then continually grow in steps and stages. And so that's how leadership is. You get one person to work side by side with you. You get them to trust you, to believe in your vision, and to be excited about the future and to see the progress. Then you can bring in a second person, then a third person, and then just slowly build the company like that. So I don't know if this is the best thing to do in every situation or in every business, but I've done this a lot of different ways, and I really feel like it's the best way that I've found for where I'm at in this stage of my company. So anyway, if you guys want to do what you want, when you want, how you want, for who you want, and how much you want, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you guys next time.